Office all right?
I was. It wasn't too difficult. Found it luckily.
Well, I was reading that in the next couple days the weather's going to go up about 20, 30 degrees. Isn't that going to be nice?
I'm really excited about that. I'm sick of it being cold. It's awful.
One of the things that when we begin our relationship is that I need to know everything that happened.
Okay.
And so I wanted to give you a chance to just give me a general outline of everything that you've been through and just let me know what it is that is your biggest issue.
Okay. Well, so my husband and I moved to Columbia and we were looking for a place and we found a really great deal. So we ended up going through with this sale, and ever since we moved into the house, it's just been really, I've had trouble sleeping. It's caused a lot of problems in my marriage, a lot of financial problems because I haven't been able to sleep. And so my husband just kind of told me that I was watching too many scary movies and taking it to a whole nother level.
Right.
And so one day when I was home, I saw a car full of teenagers drive by, and they stopped at the mailbox. And I was kind of like, I need to ask them why this house is a scene, why they keep coming around. And so as soon as I walked out the door, it sped off. So I was telling a friend at work the next day what had happened, and he proceeded to tell me that that house, someone had been axe murdered.
No.
Yeah. And so, suddenly, me not being able to sleep made sense. Because, obviously, it's probably haunted.
Right.
Yeah. So, he said that there was an axe murder there. So I started looking into it, and it's true. And I'm just
Wow.
I'm really annoyed and ticked off because the person who sold it to us never said anything. The listing didn't say anything. The homeowner didn't say anything. No one in the community told us.
Were you new to the community?
Yes. Well, we moved to Columbia in, I think it was the spring of 2013.
Okay.
And we rented an apartment, but then my husband ended up getting a job. So that's when we decided we were going to stay. And originally we didn't have money for a down payment. But then we inherited a little bit of money. It was my husband's great uncle. We inherited $20,000. So that was our down payment. So I started looking at mobile homes, and just because we were trying to we didn't have a very big budget. He had just gotten a job. We were kind of new here, and so I saw this listing for the house, and we went and saw it and just fell in love with it. But no one ever told us what was wrong. So it's just since then since I found out about the murder that took place there, I haven't been able to stay there. So I've been staying at a hotel, which also is a huge financial strain that we don't have the money for. But I feel like no one is sympathizing with my side.
That's terrible that you had to move into a house where there was an axe murder.
Right.
And no one even told you about it. Now, were you able to look up and see if the rumor was true?
Yeah, I verified it a little bit. I verified it online and in just a couple newspapers, and like I said, with my friends. And I don't know, I'm embarrassed. I'm even embarrassed to tell you. I feel like I just should have known this. I'm kind of new to the community, but apparently everyone else knew or kept it from me.
Well, if you are new to the community, you shouldn't feel embarrassed about not knowing something that no one told you about.
Right. So I don't know. It's just a complicated situation, and I don't really know what to do about it. I feel like obviously people owed it to me to tell me this, and then now I don't know. It's just caused a whole mess.
Now, when you say a whole mess, are you talking problems with your husband?
Financially?
Yeah. What specifically do you mean by that?
Well, it's caused a lot of problems. First of all, the house. We entered this contract, and we put the down payment down of an inheritance and money that we don't just have a bunch of money to be spending on things like this. So just that has caused the whole problem. And then also, I haven't, like I said, I haven't been able to sleep. So even like health issues for me, and medical bills, which, yeah, it's just really frustrating. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. Yeah, I'm just angry with the realtor, the seller, the bank that loaned us just everyone that didn't tell us. I don't really want to sue anyone. I just want the original homeowner to take back the house, give me my money back so we can get a new house, and hopefully things with my husband will smooth over whenever we can go back to living in a house. And he agrees that just getting the money back and moving out would be the best option. And the homeowner is Mr. Fletcher. So we just want Fletcher to take the house and give us our money.
Did you have any
walk
kind of
away?
Did you have any kind of relationship with Mr. Fletcher before buying the house?
Let's see. No, I didn't have anything with Mr. Fletcher. Margaret Duffy sold us the house, and she works for Duffy Realty, and she's the one who showed us the house. And Mr. Fletcher was there. He seemed pretty sad. I met him at closing. He seemed pretty sad, but I thought he just, was attached to the house. I had no idea that his wife had been murdered. So.
Now, this question, it might ask you to speculate a little bit.
Okay.
But I was hoping to get your impression. When Mr. Fletcher and Miss Duffy sold you this property, do you think they didn't mention the axe murder because they didn't think it was important and Mr. Fletcher was grieving and so it just wasn't something they thought to mention? Or do you think maybe they deliberately didn't mention it to you?
I don't think it's something you just forget. Like, I think that they intentionally didn't tell me. And once my friend told me about it, I called Miss Duffy and I said, someone told me that someone was murdered in this house. And she suddenly had a call on the other line and hasn't talked to me since. So I think it's like a deliberate, they're concealing it. They don't, obviously I know about it. So I don't know why she just won't talk to me about it or why they won't make this better. I don't know.
Ms. Kresge?
Yeah.
One of the things that is my obligations as a lawyer is to tell you things that you need to hear, even if it's something that you may not want to hear.
Okay.
And you said that your desired outcome is to have them take the house back and give it to you without any kind of litigation. Based on what you've told me so far, it sounds like they aren't going to be amenable to taking the house back and undoing the transaction voluntarily, based on the fact that it sounds like they may have deliberately hidden this from you, and the fact that Miss Duffy suddenly had a call coming soon as you mentioned the next minute. That seems like that may be more than a coincidence, which means that we might have to entertain the possibility of litigation. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, and if there are any other non-legal concerns that you would like me to keep in mind.
As far as litigation, it's just so unfair, and I'm so stressed out about it. I don't understand why they would want to do that to me, and maybe we would have been willing, or maybe I would have been prepared if they had just been honest, and I think maybe someone else would be willing to buy the house. And other than them avoiding me, I haven't, obviously that's a pretty good sign that they're not willing to work together, but I feel like I just want to try to, I don't have the money for litigation. I want to, try and stray away from that. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do if that's the only option. Okay. And then what do you mean by non-legal concerns?
So I was wondering, are you worried about your reputation in the community with people if you're seen as going after them? How does your husband feel about this, because he's probably an equal partner in this transaction. So is he going to be on board with what you're doing? Is there any kind of tension between your husband on how to resolve this issue?
Well, like I said, I mean, he thinks I'm just being dramatic, but I mean, I think that's a pretty substantial thing. I don't think I'm being dramatic. I mean, it's causing me to have, it's causing me medical problems, and so that's one. I mean, that I think will be smoothed over. I think that he and I agree with the outcome that we want. As far as litigation, he and I haven't talked about that, so that'd be something I need to talk to him about. But there are a couple other concerns I have, but I'm a little bit hesitant to share them with you, just because, like I said, I'm embarrassed. I feel like I've been treated unfairly. I'm frustrated. I'm stressed about it, and opening up about it just opens a whole new pot of worms, I guess.
I definitely understand why you'd feel uncomfortable talking about some aspects of this, but I want you to know that we have a confidential relationship. Okay. So the things you tell me, I'm not going to be at church on Sunday telling people, oh, guess what Samantha Pretsky told me in the office. No, that's not how we work around here. Okay. What you say to me will be kept confidential, and it won't be disclosed with anyone else. And additionally, if I know everything, then I can make sure that I find the right cases to cite, and I can make sure that you get the outcome you desire, because we don't want to have, an iceberg court case where we only see part of it, but the other attorney can see the whole thing, and then we could run into trouble. So I know.
Do you feel like I'm crazy because I think this house is haunted? Because that's why I'm worried that everyone just thinks I'm crazy.
I think that being concerned about moving into a house after there was an axe murder there is a perfectly reasonable, legitimate concern, and you shouldn't let anyone tell you that you're wrong for feeling the way you feel.
Okay. Well, one thing I'm concerned about is, like I said, we recently moved here, and my husband got a job with the Postal Service, and I'm working at Target. Mm-hmm. And Miss Duffy, who sold me the home, her brother is my manager.
Oh,
So I'm a little worried about seeking out, I don't know. I'm worried about taking Miss Duffy to court, because then obviously her brother, and I know I've heard he can't treat me differently because if I do this, but I'm still just worried that it'll change my relationship at work and my relationships at work, and then this will all be spread around work, and then I'm crazy at work. And so that's one thing. And then going off that, I don't want people to think I'm crazy, and whenever I was younger, I battled some depression, and I feel like this has kind of brought it up again, and the more people that know about this, the more people talk, and I don't want, obviously I'm not from here, but people know things, and I don't want it to be like a big thing. My life is fine without the house, without the problems. It's just, I want it to go away.
Now and this is just one possibility, I'm going to have many other suggestions, but would you be open to trying to contact Miss Duffy, Mr. Fletcher, and seeing if it would be possible for them to give you what we would call a discount on the purchase price to adjust for the fact there was an axe murder there? So if we could get them to give you $30,000, $40,000 in compensation to sort of lower the price of the house, is that something, then you could perhaps use that money to move or to take matters into your own hand? Would that sort of money be a good kickstart to resolving this dilemma and allowing you to move on with your life, or is that something you wouldn't even be interested in?
I mean, I don't think it's ideal. I don't think you could pay me $1 million and I'd feel happy in the house.
Okay, so getting out of that house.
Yeah, I really just, it's leading to more. At first I was like, okay, I just can't sleep. I'll get sleeping pills. And then it was depression, and then it's fighting with my husband, and then it's moving to a hotel, and then it's not being able to afford not being able to pay for everything. So I feel like really, I mean, obviously if that's the only solution, then that's the only solution, and I mean, it's better than where I stand now, but it's not ideal.
Did your husband move into the hotel with you?
No, he's still at the house.
Has that being apart from each other been difficult?
Yeah,
For you?
yes, and he's also very angry with me because, like I said, he thinks I'm being dramatic, and I work at Target. I don't make that much money, so paying for a hotel room and the house payment, we're living at different places. I won't go to the house, so we're eating different meals. We're paying double everything, and he's very aggravated with me about that because he thinks I just need to be a little more rational and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, my question to you would be, would you and your husband be open to leaving the community potentially, either after a lawsuit or if we could get money from them and then use that as a kickstart to leaving the community, or do you want to stay within the community in a different house?
I mean, again, ideally, stay in the community, and we came here because we really like it here, so I don't want the fact that I got screwed over moving into this house to affect, like, now I have to move just so people don't think I'm crazy because I live in an axe murder house. Like,
Right.
it just seems really unfair, and I just wish they would work with me. I signed a contract, but we didn't have an attorney, which now I know was really stupid. I don't know what I could do, and maybe I'm gonna get screwed out of money here, or maybe